Hello guys. You need to page at open at page 24 reading part family life in 17th century Britain. Now I will read the article for you, then we will answer the questions. By the 17th century, life in Europe had started to become more comfortable for those who had money. Trade had become more important, and the number of people who could read and write was starting to grow. But while the rich were enjoying good food, poetry, and the theater, life for the poor hadn't changed much at all. Here are a few examples of what ordinary family life was like in the olden days. A typical household. Women used to have 7 or 8 children, but 1 in every 3 children died before reaching 1 year of age. Many children had to leave home when they were as young as 7 years old to work as shepherds or helpers on farms. There weren't many elderly people in the families because people died much younger than they usually do today. Few people expected to live beyond 40. In fact, children frequently grew up without parents at all. A crowded life. Ordinary people used to live in one-room houses together with chickens, goats, and even cows. Only richer families and mattresses. On cold nights, everyone in the family would crowd together to sleep to warm each other up. Unfortunately, this had a bad effect on people's health. Lice infestations were very common, and if one person suffered from an illness, everybody else would get it too. Taking a bath was much a rare event that everybody smelled bad. Childcare. Life didn't allow people to spend a lot of time with their children. Parents used to leave even very young children on their own for most of the day. Records from that time report many stories of children who got too close to the fire and burned to death. But even when parents were with their children, they didn't care for them in the ways we are used to parents doing today. Children were often simply constant workers. Parents didn't used to sing songs to their children or play with them. It used to be normal to call a child it rather than he or she. It's often easy to fantasize about the past and think how wonderfully simple life was compared to all the pressure we face in our day-to-day lives. But was it really so great? For most people, it probably wasn't. Okay, we have read the article. Okay, read and choose. Life in the 7th century was difficult for everybody, no matter how much money they had. False. For the rich people, life wasn't difficult. Grandparents often used to live with the families and look after the young children. False. They don't live so many years. They died young. There wasn't a lot of space in most people's homes, and they often shared it with their animals. True. They lived together with goats, chickens, and cows. Do you remember? Children sometimes died because their parents weren't very concerned about their safety. Yes. Burning. Parents these days spend more time with their children than they did in the golden days. True. Yes. Because they worked hard, that's why. Okay. Okay, think about it. Compare family life in the 7th century with family life now. What are the most striking differences? What do you think life will be like 100 years from now? Will it be easier? If so, how? Answer these questions and write them into your notebook. Grammar part. Would and used to. Women didn't used to, would have 7 or 8 children. Women used to have 7 or 8 children, but now, no, used to. Habits. In the past days, the things that we called habits. Women used to have 7 or 8 children, but now, no. When we talk about past tense, we use would. There is no difference between past simple and would, okay? You can say, for example, would do or did. There is no difference, but used to do and did. There's a difference between them, okay? Used to means I used to wake up early in the mornings when I was a child, but now, no. Okay, that's the difference. On cold days, everyone in the family would crowd together to sleep to warm each other up. Parents didn't used to sing songs to their children or play with them, but now parents can do them. It used to be normal to call a child it rather than he or she, but now we don't call the child it. That's why we used to and didn't used to hear and used to hear. This is typical past tense. Would crowd to sleep or to warm each other up. To talk about habits and repeated actions in the past, we can use used to or didn't used to or wouldn't. Okay? We use used to and didn't used to with both action and stative verbs. We only use wouldn't or would with action verbs. We use would or wouldn't with action verbs, but we can use used to or didn't used to both action and stative verbs. We don't use would or wouldn't with stative verbs. Don't forget it. Circle the correct words. Sometimes both options are possible. When I was a child, I used to or would play a lot with my sister. Think about it. Would or used to, because play is an action verb. You can use both. We would used to have a cat. We can't use would. That's why the answer used, because having have verb, it's a stative verb. It's not action verb. We like her a lot and play with her all the time. Would used to, would or used to? Let's check. Used to, of course. It's funny, but I would used to think. Used to, because think is stative verb here. I think I never learned to read. Think. This is stative verb, not thinking. It's an opinion. In my opinion, I think. We used to share a bedroom. We used to share a bedroom. It's a habit. My sister and I used to be such good friends. But now we are not, okay? Use the correct form of used to. Did you used to have a pet when you were a child? Yes, I used to have a cat. We didn't used to have a car. We used to walk everywhere, but now we have a car and we don't walk everywhere. Did you used to watch a lot of TV when you were younger? Yes, I used to watch it every day when I got home from school. I didn't used to like vegetables, but I love them now. Did your dad used to read you stories before you went to bed? No, he didn't, but my mom used to. I didn't used to like having birthday parties. I was a really shy child. Okay, let's continue. Vocabulary. Time periods. Look and choose. From 1995 until 2004. It is a long time ago in history, or the recent past. I think it is recent past. Let's check. Yes, it's not a long time ago in history. In the Middle Ages, but it is a long time ago in the history. In this day and age, the present, these days, the present, in the olden days, a long time ago, in the last century, in recent past, because in the last century means after 2000. Not so long ago, the recent past, a decade ago. Decade means 10 years. The recent past. Decade means 10 years. Nowadays, the present. Okay. B, C, A, C, B, and A. Talking about the past. School, food, technology, games, home, travel. Choose a topic for you and a period in the past. You will make a comparison between the present and that time period. Okay? You will use these words and you will use a topic, a period in the past, and you will write it into your notebook. For example, games in the 1930s. Okay, well, children would play with teddy bears and dolls. These days, many children have electronic games, video games. Okay, you will choose a topic from this: school, food, technology, games, home, travel. Don't choose games because it's an example. Then compare between the present and that time period. Okay, write them into your notebook. And this is the end of our lesson. See you. Bye.